This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling, doing another episode of Boundary to Boundary, Colorado High School Wrestling. Today's guest is the head coach from Chaparral, Andy, and I don't want to pronounce your last name wrong.
Sistek.
Sistek?
Sistek.
Sistek.
Sister, but a K at the end. Sistek.
Okay. Tell us a little about your wrestling background and your coaching background.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska at Rolston High School, two-time state champ. Went to UNK after that.
From Nebraska?
Yep, Omaha, Nebraska. Yep, Rolston High School.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's why you went to a school that had red, right?
Right, that's it. So I grew up out there, and then I went to UNK, Nebraska Kearney, was All-American, over 100 wins in college. Coached, actually took 6 years off where I didn't even touch the wrestling mat at all, and ran into my old freestyle coach, Mike Braun, and he invited me out to work out with his heavyweight. Once I had that, wrestling room moment, I walked in after 6 years, like, this is where I belong. Volunteered for a couple years there, coached with him for 4 years. Great coach, Hall of Fame coach in Nebraska. Learned a tremendous amount from him. And then I went on, I coached a year at Wahoo in Nebraska, who's a pretty powerhouse last year. They were third in the state. And then Millard South for 4 years. I was an assistant coach there, who's now ranked nationally. 3 years ago, I came out to Chaparral, and here ever since. Love it. Got great people around me. I'm really excited about what we have going.
Let's do a little comparison. Nebraska wrestling, Colorado wrestling. What do you think?
Good question. The top level is similar, but Colorado has just so much more depth. It's a lot harder to become a state qualifier. Class A in Nebraska, there's only 8 teams in the district. We call it districts there. Whereas you got 12 to 13, in 5A. That was the biggest surprise. When I came out here, it was actually a lot tougher than I thought, and I realized, man, this is really tough competition. So I think we're headed in the right direction.
Well, that's good. I've been out here since '95. I've seen the growth of it. I've seen top level, middle level. It still needs working on, but it's growing all the time. And we have the growth of the women's division in the state. That's coming along really strong also. Tell us a little about your team from last year and how they did at states.
So we had one state placer last year, took 6 at 132, Abram Bell. He's graduated. We returned 3 state qualifiers. Jay Stubbs, who's now wrestling 138 for us. Jeff Freeman, 195, was at 182. And Cam Klein, who's either 145 or 152. We're still kind of ironing that out. All really hard-working guys with high motors. They're headed in the right direction.
So what does your returning squad look like?
Really good. So then my son Jeremiah Sistek's a JV state champ because he was behind Abram. He's wrestling 145 today, but eventually he'll be down to 38 or 32. We got Dorian Pacheco, who's now filling in at 182. He's lots of firepower there. Our upper weights are really strong. Monte Alvarez at 220. Up and down the lineup, we got a lot of guys that can threaten to. Hopefully, they're on that fringe of where they just need to take that next step and get to where we think we can go.
Hitting that plateau and going to the next one.
And going to the next one, exactly. They're putting in the work. We're working hard. Just got back from California, went 7-1 at a dual tournament out there, and last I checked, we're first place here with 4 starters missing. 2 didn't make weight today. Very frustrating. We got 1 sick and 1 hurt, but we're still guys are out there battling and definitely making a difference here.
Okay. What does your coaching staff look like?
Patrick Stiles, I believe he wrestled at Overland, and then he's bounced around kind of. We picked him up this summer. And Jared Sanchez, he's from up north. I'm not exactly sure what high school. Great guy. He's my JV coach. And I got a volunteer coach who used to be my club coach, Sam Bell. He's one of the best in the business. Phenomenal guy. Helps me out in all aspects.
Right.
Standing right over there. Great guy. Really lucky to have him. It's about these guys that study the game. They might not have the accolades of being All-Americans in college and stuff like that, but they are definitely students of the game and positive role models for the kids, and we're definitely headed in the right direction.
Okay. Do you have any females on your team?
4 females. One's my daughter. They're over at Eagle Crest today. And then we have Cami Fiordalis, who took 3rd place at state last year, so she's a returning state placer, and then we got 2 more join us. It's my daughter's first year wrestling. We just thought, man, she needs to get in shape for volleyball, so we're going to bring her on the wrestling team. Been working out, and she's 1-0 today, so that's fun stuff.
That's good. Do you have a separate head coach for the girls, or is this someone from your staff?
Right now we have a volunteer coach, John Fiordalis, who's Cammie's dad, helps out with that, along with Ryan Bauman, whose niece wrestles for us. So we're really lucky to have volunteer. I think the idea is next year in Douglas County, they're going to end up with a stipend for head coaches. Right now we just don't have the money to be able to afford it.
Right. Next year is going to be the first year of the CHASA sanctioned state tournament and fully sanctioned season for the girls. So a lot of things that may change next year with each school having their own coaches there. Whereas this year, a lot of the school districts have combined with the schools together to make a unified team.
Absolutely.
Either way, right now, it's a good growth for the sport of wrestling, especially, letting the girls get the practice or the time in and getting the experience on the mat, which is good for the next level. Because in college, the opportunity for girls in college have skyrocketed. It's like over 40 to close to 50 colleges now that have women's wrestling. So if Colorado can put some of our girls on the map at the college division, that's a bonus for Colorado wrestling as a whole.
Absolutely. Yep.
What are your goals for the team this year?
Well, our motto is win the moment, so we're taking it one moment at a time. In order to win the moment, you got to be in the moment. You can't let the fear of the past or the fear of failure or the anger and frustration of the past affect you. So we're just trying to win the moment one at a time. I'm not a big fan of goals because you got to do it. You got to handle what's in front of you first and take every step one step at a time.
That's a good goal. I know one of the coaches in college, Nate Carr, his philosophy and thoughts are one move at a time, one match at a time, one meet at a time, one season at a time. So that's a good model you have.
Absolutely. And I kind of stole that from Urban Meyer and Tim Kite, who are, Urban Meyer, the Ohio State football coach. Tim Kite's the guy that helped him out with a lot of his mindset training and leadership training for the Ohio State Buckeyes when he was the coach there. And so it's a great philosophy, and we've kind of adopted that as a team, and really good.
Do you have any other thoughts in your season? How it's been going on so far? I know we're like in the second full week of duels and tournaments.
I'm excited to get my team healthy and my guys down to weight. Dorian Pacheco's at 95 right now. Once he gets to 82, get a full team out there. Hopefully we'll surprise some people. I don't know. We're going to battle. We're going to do it one moment at a time, one move at a time. So.
All right. Andy, I thank you for your time. Good luck today and good luck in the season.
All right, Tom. Thank you for what you do for the wrestling community.
This is Tom Blair with Inside Colorado Wrestling.